Hello and welcome to today's pre-market analysis for the FTSE and Dax. It's the 13th of December. Just remembering that December isn't the best month to trade because a lot of the traders are actually on holidays. So the market activity does drop down a little bit, and what you end up with is sometimes the market doesn't react as well to some of the rules that you generally use throughout the year. In saying that, there is always opportunity in the market, so it's good to be aware, and for those that are continuing to trade throughout December, here's a little recap and exploration for the day. So at the moment on the DAX, sitting around the close gap, so very efficient market. If we open here, we do have a couple of hours before, or an hour and a half before the market actually opens. For example, it could be a good opportunity to simply go long towards the confluence up above around the 16,837 kind of region. Got a bit of confluence there, so R1 breakout long and the previous day's high. If we were to get up to that kind of level and area before the market opens, then we could look to go short towards this close gap. So if we open up around here, the close gap at 16,790 could form a good target, maybe front run it a little using the pivot in particular as well in this scenario. If we were to track down before the open, obviously we'd be looking to go long, and if we remain around this level, I would put the odds on that it would go long. However, it's not a really good setup. So opening up here around the top confluence or the bottom confluence, and then looking for a reason to go long or short, depending on where the market opens towards the close gap, is probably the ideal situation today. And again, using any spikes outside of the Bollinger Bands on the different timeframes as a bonus to get in. Over to the FTSE now, very spread out price action. So all of the levels are very spaced out. We do have the close and the previous day's low a little bit lower than where we are right now. So if we were to perhaps push up a little bit, may have a chance to go short towards the close at the open, particularly if we get a nice spike up into, say, the R1. But in terms of trading conditions, it doesn't look that great. We do have quite a bit of support down here, so perhaps even a buy off the previous day's close and low could be an opportunity there if we did come down and meet that. No real clear trade on the FTSE though. And I do want to just cover the Nikkei, the JPN225. It's the Japanese stock index market, consisting of the top 225 stocks by market cap. And what happened was the market did come down, it touched the pivot, came up and went all the way to the R1 and some. I'll have a look at the extra there. It was about 20 points above that R1 there. Call it 20, 22, 23 points. And then basically the market tracked all the way down very close to the close gap. So 220 points basically from this level up here all the way down to where it got to, and that was a front run of the gap on that one by about 10 points before kind of heading back north. So really good setup if you were able to, I guess, either buy off the pivot or sell off the R1 and just wait that out for the rest of the day until it got either to the pivot. It would have been a bit scary when it turned around here, but obviously waiting for it to get very close to the close gap could have been an excellent opportunity for the Oceania session today. The reason I did start trading the JPN225 is because the prop firm called TradeDay, I'm actually starting to give them a go, and I'm using the Nikkei as one of the markets that I'm trading because that's one of the markets that they do offer. They don't actually offer the DAX and FTSE, so I do need to rely on another market. And having a look at the Nikkei today, I thought it was a good opportunity to get short. I did get short down around this level, so I did have to wait some time targeting the gap, but I am currently about 25% of the way there after a couple of days of trading to target, so that's really cool. The reason I do like TradeDay over Apex at the moment is the way they do their trailing drawdown. It's a daily trailing drawdown rather than your top balance at any point in time. So with Apex, if you have a winning trade and you don't even close it, your trailing drawdown creeps up with that winning trade. So it just gets a bit confusing to try and track and monitor how much stop loss you actually have, and you really have to sit there and make sure it doesn't go the other way and that sort of thing, even if you're in profit. So stops to break even don't matter, because the trailing stop can actually go past your break even point in that same very trade. So it's not the best trailing setup, whereas TradeDay have a daily drawdown setup, which I really like. So for example, at the start of the day, that's your drawdown for that entire day. So you just don't go below that level, and then it resets tomorrow. So if you go up during the day, you close all your trades because you can't hold them overnight, that sort of thing. But then the next day, you have a fixed trailing drawdown for that day. And it's just a lot easier to keep track of where you're at and actually let your trades run a little bit as well. So you don't have to just take little snippets, and eventually you might be wrong with Apex, and then it's very hard to maintain that consistency without letting a runner go. Whereas with TradeDay, you can let a runner go, just keeping in mind that obviously you do need to have a fairly consistent trading history to be able to pass the evaluation. But very good rules and that sort of thing. I'm quite impressed with TradeDay. There is a link in the description below if you want to go and get your account set up. I'm enjoying it so far. Has been nice and easy and pretty clean, sort of a dashboard and that kind of thing. And it does offer the Nikkei, the JPN futures. So I'm enjoying that, just trading at a different time, which is quite enjoyable. And that's why I've done this analysis today, just to give you a bit of insight that it does work across different index markets. Anyway, guys, have a great day. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.